What if your GLP-1 injection didn't come once a week, but only once every 2 weeks? A new investigational medication called Bofanglutide is making headlines, and early clinical data suggests it may help lower blood sugar and support weight loss, potentially on a less frequent dosing schedule than medications like Ozempic or Wegovy. But before we get ahead of ourselves, this is still in the research phase, and there are some important details that you need to know. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Bofanglutide, also known by its research code GZR18, is an investigational GLP-1 receptor agonist being developed by Gan and Lee Pharmaceuticals. Like other GLP-1 medications such as Ozempic or Mounjaro, it works by mimicking the natural GLP-1 hormone, helping to regulate blood sugar, appetite, and weight. But what makes it stand out is its extended dosing schedule. Instead of weekly injections, Bofanglutide is being studied as a biweekly injection, meaning every 2 weeks, and possibly even a once-monthly option in future research. That alone has caught a lot of attention, as you might have imagined, in the diabetes and obesity treatment space. A phase 2b randomized clinical trial published in the Annals of Internal Medicine studied 272 adults with type 2 diabetes across multiple sites in China. Participants were divided into several groups. For Bofanglutide, 12 milligrams, 18 milligrams, and 24 milligrams at every 2 weeks, and also Bofanglutide 24 milligrams given at a weekly dose, and a comparison group using semaglutide 1 milligram weekly. The main focus was HbA1c reduction over 24 weeks, a key marker of long-term blood sugar control. Key findings in this: all Bofanglutide groups showed significant reductions in HbA1c. Participants also experienced weight loss and improvements in cardiometabolic risk factors. In some comparisons, results were similar to or slightly greater than semaglutide. However, and this is important, the semaglutide dose used in the study was relatively low compared to modern obesity dosing. So how does it compare to existing GLP-1s? On paper, Bofanglutide appears to perform in the same general range as established GLP-1 therapies like Wegovy and Zepbound in terms of blood sugar reduction, weight loss outcomes, and metabolic improvements. But here's the key takeaway. This is early stage data. It's a relatively small study, and it was conducted in a single population with primarily Chinese participants. So while the results are promising, they're not yet enough to say it's better than existing medications. One of the most interesting aspects is compliance and convenience. If a biweekly injection proves effective long-term, it could mean fewer injections per year, possibly better adherence for some patients, and potentially less treatment fatigue over time. Researchers are also exploring whether longer-acting formulations could help people who are uncomfortable with weekly injections, sometimes referred to as being needle averse. Now let's talk about the side effects and tolerability, and I don't think you're going to be shocked here. Like other GLP-1 medications, Bofanglutide is associated with gastrointestinal side effects. The most common reported include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and constipation. In the trial, these effects were fairly common, but generally mild to moderate in severity. Injection site reactions were also reported in some of the participants. Importantly, this is consistent with the broader GLP-1 class, including drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. And there's also a larger story here. Gan and Lee Pharmaceuticals has already entered licensing agreements to expand development into Latin America, and phase 3 trials are underway comparing Bofanglutide directly with semaglutide and tirzepatide-based therapies. That means this isn't just research anymore, it's part of a growing global competition in metabolic disease treatment. Experts point out several important limitations. The short study duration was only 24 weeks. The small sample size of those that were participating in the study, and that it was a single country population. Limited long-term safety and durability data also needs to be looked at, and no data is available yet on what happens after stopping that treatment. So while the results are very promising, they are still very early. Bofanglutide is an interesting and promising investigational GLP-1 therapy that could eventually offer similar metabolic benefits to current GLP-1 drugs and potentially with less frequent dosing. But right now, it's still in clinical trials, not an approved treatment. So this was one to watch for sure, but not one to switch to for a while yet. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.